Today I'm going to be working on this amp rack. It's going to go from something like this to something like this. Y'all let me know what y'all think. It's a mess, but
make love to the game, bruh. Fuck the game up. Change up, rearrange stuff to your greatness. Same us for the way up. Play the game, bruh.
so I'm not going to do your like traditional amp rack. I'm actually going to put everything on top and run it from the bottom so all the wires are hid. But that poses a challenge because I got a flat piece of plastic that I'm trying to use the same mounting spots, but I also got to take into account I've got my air vent here and here, my ground and stuff. I still got to trim all this power wire and everything, but what I'm gonna do is I've got to measure, make like a template, and then my idea is to like where I'm actually gonna fold it over, and I don't know if I'm gonna fold it where it'll be flat down and then over again so I can mount it down, maybe just in these spots. The other spots I can just mount it straight down, and hopefully that'll hold like the weight of this, not too heavy. I think I got like a 1/4 inch or at least 1/8 inch thick plastic, but it's kind of hard to explain. I ain't got none of that fancy software, go on the computer and show you and all that shit. Just have to take my word for it. Hopefully, you know, it turns out right. All right, I'm gonna get started, and I guess y'all see how it turns out at the end. All right, another thing I want to note, these are 12 gauge, and this amp called for 12 gauge. But if I'm not mistaken, I think these are 10 gauge ferrules. But if you look, see how they're square? I had to take, I believe it was Stereo Mojo, I think, seen talking about this too. But I had this problem before I even seen that. I'd picked up, this is just a regular ferrule crimper. It's like, it just turns it into a square. But the 12 gauge wouldn't fit over here. It would fit in there when I crimped it, but it wouldn't fit over, the insulated ferrule wouldn't fit. And I'm not gonna put no heat shrink or nothing on these, so I like that look. That being said, had to go with 10 gauge, and you see they're square, but you see how it's kind of like turned. I had to take pliers and like squeeze it to round it out to fit in the hole, because these holes are round. So I just picked up a new crimper. It's not a square one, which, like I said, I already had that. It's not the hexagon, which I think is 6 sides. I think it's the octagon, which is 8 sides. I don't think it was that bad. I put it in, I think it was like 20 bucks, I think, on Amazon. If it works, I end up showing y'all, and I'll put a link to it down in the description. Because I did order some actual 12 gauge black and red ferrules for this, so they look cleaner. And like I said, I got that ferrule, or that crimper, so I'm gonna try it out, and I'm gonna let y'all know if it works, if it don't. All right, so let's try it. This is what I was talking about earlier. This was the one I was first referring to. It's just square 4-way one, and what it does is it ends up making them look like this. Focus. And see how I had to smash the tip of the one on the right, and all of them I had to, just so I could fit it in there, because where it makes it square, it won't go in, obviously the square won't go in a round hole. But this was the only size that would fit over the insulation, so I got these 12 gauge ones, and instead of the square crimper, I got the octagon. So I believe it's 8 sizes. Crimped it. This was what it comes out looking like. It's more round. These ferrules won't fit in the hole of the amp. Without crimping it, it won't fit in these holes. But I'm gonna try this and see if it fits. Hold on, I put it down because I only got one hand. All right, so yeah, see, that's perfect. Goes over insulation and fits in there. So yeah, I definitely recommend that. Do the rest of these. I got 4-aught ferrules, the insulated ones, for here too for my power and ground. I can't stand when my stuff don't match. With the yellow. Alright, I'm gonna get back to it. I'll check back in with y'all. So that's what it looks like when it's in. Looks a lot better. Now, how I'm gonna crimp these, pull this back. Hold on. Because I put that over this insulated ferrule. Hold on. Alright, there, now you can see better what I'm doing. One thing I would suggest too, just a little tip, I would vacuum up all y'all's, you know, spare like wire that's fell, you trimmed off or anything before you hook any of this up, because any little thing can, you know, blow it, short it out. But I just want to add that in there. But anyways, see I have an insulated ferrule and I got this sleeve that goes over it. The way I'm gonna ferrule these, or the way I'm gonna crimp these, is I'm just gonna put them in the amp, because they do fit in the amp without being crimped. And these are the 4 gauge insulated ferrules. And I'm gonna put it in there and then tighten it down, and that's what's gonna hold it in place. So got all the ends done. These are my extra tweeter wires I had mentioned in my previous video, because it actually got the quick detach Y adapter that connects both of them. Now I'm gonna try to think about how to do this amp rack. It's gonna take some man staring for sure. What I was planning on doing is making an amp rack, run them under it. I was gonna just run the power wire and everything from over here, as you seen earlier. But I ended up just going ahead and cutting hose. These ain't gonna be seen either, so I'm gonna cover it up and trim these. I'm gonna cover this up, all up, and they're gonna come through the plastic and then into it. I think that's a cleaner look. I just can't figure out how exactly I'm gonna be able to do this, because if it's just flat, obviously it has to have a landing, and I want it to curve over so you can't see nothing up in there, which I'm sure you wouldn't. You have to get down in the floorboard to look. But that being said, clean stuff up over here a lot better. I can tuck this stuff in there, but this ain't gonna be seen. Nothing's gonna be seen, just the amp wires coming out through it. But this air vent is giving me problems, because I can't really run it straight down here and then up that way, because of my ground's here, and my ground's only gonna be like 6 inches long, so that's good. But this can cover up now and off, because I was originally running everything through here. I was gonna cover it up, pull it out so I didn't have to cut hose, but it is what it is. I think it looks better. I did have to run this up under the carpet, up under this vent too, which originally has 3 speaker cables through it, wires through it. I gotta figure out if I want to go way up here with it, which would be fine. The amp will still have room up under my seat. But I didn't take into account lowering it all the way, because it does raise up and down. But either way, it'd be fine, because I always ride with it like that. Nobody else can be driving this. Nobody else ever has. Not even my old lady, but don't tell her that. I mean, she already knows it, but don't rub it in her face. Not that it's anything special, but anyways, I think I'm gonna go here and then back, and then I'll cut around this, and then I'll have it come down here. I don't think I'm gonna lock it into this. Sorry. I don't think I'm gonna lock it into this bolt. I could lock it into this one, but I think I have another idea I might do. It's not gonna go nowhere. I've been looking into like a feet.
What did he say?
Like an inch foot or 2 inch feet.
It's these stupid feet! Oh, now come on. I bet they're not so bad. Whoa, now!
Like rubber feet that go under it. Give it some weight, but I think when I bend the corners over it, it'll be fine. Whatever shape I go with, I gotta have 1 inch to 2 inches. 2 inches back here, like 1 inch up here. I've got extra that I've gotta fold down. Then I guess I could cut that piece out too. Sorry. Get more ideas as I'm explaining this here. I could run it down straight here, cut around this. I don't know if I want the DSP to sit over here because of the interference, which I've got something that's going to take care of that. But I do got all these motors up here. I don't know if that'll matter or what, but every little bit of help. Yeah, I know the seat ain't undone. It's got heated seats. I ain't trying to do all that, but it's got slack. It's not hurting it. Anyways, this is where we're at now. I'll come back to y'all when I figure out exactly what I'm doing. Alright, so I'm out here racking my brain. This is kind of what I've got so far. I know it's sloppy. But I got my amps, dimensions, DSP, and kind of the shape I'm going with. But then the other part is like where I'm gonna fold it over so I add the height to it. And also kind of like right there is gonna give me the attachment point. And plus, I've got another little secret I'm gonna do, but I don't know if I'm gonna do this. If it don't end up working out, I'll probably just cut it to shape. Height-wise, it'll be over everything. And put some feet on them, like some rubber feet or something, but try to do this. I'm looking for a big enough piece of cardboard. That's my old cutout. It's kind of the same, but I don't know, we'll see. As I'm sitting here looking for a template, another piece of cardboard that's big enough for me to use. My plastic I got was 22 foot by 2 foot, 24 inches by 24 inches. And I need 23 by 19, at least. So I'm looking around. This is 23 by 8 or 24 by 18, so. And it's even thicker than cardboard, so. Hope they don't get mad, but I'm thinking about using it. I think I'm going to. Shout out Bluegrass Roofing. Alright, so here's this stuff. But it does work good. You just score the top. Instead of like this side, like that one's not scored. It just bends, it's hard to do with one hand. But right here, if you just score the top and just fold it, works good. This one's gonna come down, it's gonna float right here. Let's see how it works. Alright, so it's kind of getting late. This kind of what I was gonna show you real quick what it's going for. Probably gonna have to work till tomorrow. Especially like that. These are gonna come down. Of course, I got my vent right there. That's where I'm at right now. Hopefully it's gonna look something like this. Obviously this is gonna be 2 inches too. These cords ain't gonna be out here. They're gonna be up there. I just gotta trim them. You won't see nothing back here. This will be completely flat and go straight down to the carpet. You won't be able to see none of the cords unless you look way up in there. That'll be it. But I made this like this, that way the heat and stuff hit this, come out. Won't get up under there, heat up the ant, nothing like that. Or air. I'll probably just do this like this because there's enough room to go up. This right here, I'm probably gonna cut that side. But more or less, this is what I'm hoping for. I think I might have been a little bit too ambitious. This side over here, I don't know if I'm gonna keep that. That's just I didn't cut it down here and have a lip go down because this, in order for this to come down, it would have the lip would have come down here and then over, and then there would have been a gap. So that's why I done it like that.
Next morning.
All right, so that's what I'm working with. Tape it down, hope it works. Wires are covered up better this way by running underneath and coming out the top. I like that look better rather than running them on top. That's just me. That being said, let's get to it. Tape this down using this tape. I add a few more inches, but I did pick up a metallic Sharpie to show up a little bit better. So I'm out here, got it traced, and then I realized this is the top of it. The top I'm using is this side, but I didn't want to get a marker on it in case I didn't have to cut over that certain part or whatever. That being said, this needed to be flipped over on the front in order for it to be cut out. Because if I put it in here, this is what's going to have to be the top, because these obviously ain't symmetrical. So now I'm going to have to either try to get this off somehow or flip it and just end up tracing it on the front. Damn it. Alright, so there we go. I just ended up finding a paint marker in there that's washable, so I ended up tracing it from the top because I had to add a few more inches and half an inch and so here and there to make it work. Double check real quick before I put it in, go from there. Here's where we at right now. Got it cut out, diameter of it. Now I gotta score it, razor knife in the back where my folds go, and then I'm gonna heat it up with my heat gun and bend it over a corner. Take it, nice score it, and I'm gonna heat it up. If you have any of these burrs around the edges like that, just take your knife, scrape it against it, it helps, a little tip. That's what we got so far, what it looks like. So far, so good. Right, so, here's where we're at. Here's what it looks like. I probably should have done a little bit better recording this video, but it's kind of raw and uncut. See how y'all like this kind of video, but it's kind of what it looks like. And again, these are all going to be cut to the length. You know, you ain't going to see them. It's going to come up through here. But more or less, this is how to make it big enough so they'll come through when I get the wires and stuff. Here, pretty much how it's going to look. This right here has that bolt. You can bolt down. It's where my factory sub bolted to. Factory sub box, tower, all that's gonna come out of here. This I'm gonna have to trim. Let me put it down, show y'all kind of what it looks like. See, you got plenty of room. This, like I said, there's a cover here. I'm gonna have to trim this and then bend this last piece off like the back. My light for my ambient lighting full board is gonna go there. That wire right there. You're just never gonna see it. Let me know what y'all think. If y'all like it so far, leave me a like on this video. Let me know what y'all would have done different in the comments, man. I really appreciate y'all if y'all watch this. You know, leave a comment, like the video, it really helps me out in the algorithm. I'm trying to make it to 1,000 subs by the end of this year, but I'm gonna try to keep this content consistent. It's about 11:30. Still working on it. Getting kind of stoked though. That's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna end up putting it there, so it is what it is. Let's get it. Know what y'all think? It's not gonna be obviously hanging up on the side, but it still would look good if it would. One more thing I should mention is I ordered these fuses, and it's inline fuse, but instead of using inline, I'm probably gonna use one of these. It's actually for the DSP. Really don't need it, but I mean, peace of mind. Probably gonna put it here, one of these caps. Just countersink it in here, then run it to the power here. I'll show y'all when I'm done, but I'll probably add that in. Alright, wrapping it up for night, but more or less, that's what it's gonna look like, something like this. Obviously all these wires are gonna be put up better, but a little fuse at it. Might be a little biased, but I think that shit looks pretty damn good.
next morning.
Alright, so now I've got to take my wiring harness that I made in the previous video, take it to splice this power. It's gonna run to this fuse and then run to there. So that's what I'm about to start doing now. Another little tip, whenever you're drilling these hose ring or wires through, what I like to do is the hose being like this. You take it like that, like a countersink. And you can do it by hand. I've done this on my dirt bike with my hose shot device. You take and just rim out the hole and it takes all the burrs off. Gives it a more finished look. If I done these lines straight like this and then across, and then that way all my wires line up. Alright, so here's where we're at. We're getting there. It's coming together. So here it is, final product. I don't know if I put it in there, but I added this fuse I was telling y'all about that goes to this 1 amp fuse. Untwist it. Put 1 amp fuse in here for the DSP. My sequencer to my speaker RGB lights. That 4-channel amp. My sub amp. Remote power ground battery for this. My RCA's out. Ground loop isolator. I'm gonna try it out, see what it sounds like. I've only got it on the mids and highs. The sub don't do it, and it only does it low speed, volume like way down or off. It's the only time really you can hear it. But hopefully it'll help with that. I'm gonna try it out. I just didn't want to leave it bare. If not, I'll just bypass it. I had to do these, the power and stuff, so the names are upside down, or the logos would be upside down, but let me know what y'all think. Not bad not to have a router table and all that. Much cleaner. Let me know what y'all think. It looks a lot better than it did before. Let me know in the comments, you know, leave a like. Stuff really helps me out with the algorithm. I appreciate it if y'all help support. It means a lot. I'm trying to grow this channel a little bit. I'm trying to come out more content. Y'all leave in the comments what y'all like to see, and I'll do my best to try to do it. But I'm trying to get all this put back together. Start ending this video. See if it works. Fingers crossed.
If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.